Tennis. The world of classical music is a little more structured than jazz, but I'm feeling tonight we got a little improv going, so we're going to just go with the flow. We got the food, it was all tasty. Please help yourself at the bar have another drink. But what we're going to do in maybe about 2 minutes is we're going to start the first two videos. Mike Franks, I think, is either 84 or 88 years old, and he couldn't travel, and Patrick Galbraith couldn't as well. So in just a couple minutes after everybody's situated again, we'll run the two videos, and I think dessert is already placed at your table, and then we'll try to get on with the evening, because we've got a really great evening ahead of us, but I know everybody's busy. We've got players who have to participate in matches tomorrow, and everybody's had a long day. So get something to drink, get back to finish your meal, and in about 1 or 2 minutes, Josh will run the two videos. Thanks.
When looking at UCLA men's tennis, it would be hard to find a more influential or dominant player than Mike Franks. Playing #1 singles all 3 years, Franks helped the Bruins win the 1956 NCAA Team Championship, was an NCAA singles semifinalist, and an NCAA doubles finalist. The two-time All-American would only lose to one player in his collegiate singles career. Following his dominance at UCLA, Franks would enter the pros. Mike would go on to reach the third round at Wimbledon in 1957 and 1964, and the third round of the US Open in 1958. In 1956, Mike would make his US Davis Cup team debut. In his career, Franks was ranked as high as number 3 in doubles in the US in 1956, 1957, and 1959, and as high as number 7 in singles in 1958. Franks defeated some of the game's greatest, including Arthur Ashe, Rod Laver, and Alex Olmedo. Because of his outstanding contributions to tennis, the ITA is excited to induct Mike Franks into the Men's Collegiate Hall of Fame.
I want to thank you for this great honor. I grew up wanting to be a baseball player. I followed the Hollywood stars religiously and wanted to be a shortstop or second baseman. 12 and a half years old, I had a girlfriend that played tennis. Her name was Carol Ackerman. Her father was a tennis coach at UCLA. And he must have been a big shot because there was a hall named after him, Ackerman Hall. She used to tell me about some of the players, and one was named Herb Flam. And 7 years later, I was on the Davis Cup squad with him in Australia. This was probably my biggest thrill in tennis, to be named to that squad. And I didn't know about it, that I was on the team, and I was listening to the radio one night, sports, Bob Kelly speaking of sports, 6 o'clock, drinking my soup, and all of a sudden I heard my name, and I said, oh my God, how great is this? After serving in the Navy, I went around the world for the State Department with Donald Dell. I must have visited 30 countries. We were the first Americans to play in Russia. One of the wonderful things about tennis traveling is that you meet such interesting people. I met the Shah of Iran, the Emperor of Japan, General George Marshall, Neil Armstrong, Teddy Kennedy, and Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren. I had a fulfilling and exciting life, and now to receive this honor is incredibly meaningful and very appreciated. And I want to thank UCLA for what they did for me, and also Coach J.D. Morgan for what he did for me. He was a fabulous coach, and I'll never forget it.
Another UCLA great, Patrick Galbraith, left a prominent stamp on the men's tennis program during his time as a Bruin. From 1986 to 1989, Galbraith recorded a singles record of 74 and 23, a doubles mark of 58 and 16, won the 1988 NCAA doubles title, and was a 3-time ITA All-American. In his senior year, he earned the Pac-10 Singles Championship. Following his UCLA career, Galbraith continued his success on the Pro Doubles Tour. In 1994 and 1996, Galbraith won US Open mixed doubles titles. In between those titles, won the 1995 ATP Doubles World Championship. Galbraith was a men's doubles finalist at Wimbledon in 1993 and 1994, and a mixed doubles finalist at the French Open in 1997. Throughout the 1990s, Patrick Galbraith frequented the top 10 doubles rankings, reaching number 1, and would go on to earn 36 career doubles titles. After his retirement from the tour, Galbraith was elected as the chairman of the US Open in 2018, president of the USTA from 2019 to 2020, and he spent more than a decade on the USTA board of directors. Based on his on-court success at UCLA and the tour, and for his leadership in the sport, the ITA is honored to induct Patrick Galbraith into the 2023 Men's Collegiate Hall of Fame.